13 years of marriage ended with 6 words. I want a divorce, Daniel. No screaming. No sobbing. Just a quiet declaration over morning coffee, her hands wrapped around the mug like it could keep her from shivering. I stared at her for a long moment, the hum of the refrigerator filling the space between us like static. I nodded. No arguments. No begging. Just a quiet, okay? She looked surprised. Disappointed, maybe? Like she expected me to fight. But the truth? I'd been fighting alone for years. The papers came 2 weeks later. I signed them without reading. My hand barely trembled. The notary watched us both, probably expecting tension, maybe a tear. I handed the papers back, thanked him, and left. She didn't follow. I didn't look back. I didn't go home that night. I drove for hours instead, through the winding hills of upstate, past gas stations and memories. At some point, I ended up parked outside the elementary school where we used to drop off Ava. I watched the empty playground for almost an hour, wondering when everything had turned hollow. It started slow missed dinners, silences stretching like old wounds, the way she smiled at her phone more than she ever smiled at me. I used to think it was life. Work, stress, time. But now I know better. People don't drift. They choose to look away. I didn't ask who he was. I already knew. I saw the texts months before she said the word divorce. His name saved as C, short for Christopher, or coward. They'd go to that little Italian place downtown, the one with the warm lights and the good tiramisu. Our place. Every anniversary, every birthday. She took him there. I found the receipt tucked in her coat pocket one day, 2 glasses of Chianti, a shared panna cotta. The date was our 13th wedding anniversary. That's when I stopped being surprised. But knowing doesn't stop the ache. You still wake up expecting her breath on the pillow next to yours. You still hear her laugh in the hallway when you're alone. That's the worst part of betrayal, it echoes. But you learn to breathe through it. And sometimes, if you're patient, truth has a way of crawling out of the dark. Ava came home one day with a drawing her family, smiling stick figures. Me, Mommy, and Uncle Chris. She said proudly. Uncle Chris? Yeah. He comes over when you're not home. He brings gummy bears. I smiled. I thanked her. And later that night, when she was asleep, I sat in the kitchen with a glass of scotch and stared at a calendar, counting backwards. Months. Years. Doubt turned to suspicion. Suspicion became certainty. A week later, I made the appointment. I swabbed Ava's cheek while she was watching cartoons. She giggled. That tickles. I smiled. It's for science. 2 weeks passed. Then the envelope arrived. It sat on my desk for 3 days. Just a plain white thing. No drama. No fireworks. Truth never announces itself, it just waits. I opened it on a Wednesday. A simple line at the bottom confirmed what my heart already knew. Probability of paternity, 0%. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just sat there. The world didn't end. It just shifted. Like a house settling after a long storm. And then I made a reservation. Table 7, 7:30 p.m. Our old table, the one by the window. I wore my best suit, the one she bought me for our 10th. I even wore the watch she gave me that Christmas, the one she engraved with forever, love. Irony's a beautiful thing when you let it be. I arrived 5 minutes early. They walked in together laughing, his hand on her lower back, her eyes glittering. She wore red. She always did when she wanted attention. She saw me first. Her steps faltered. His hand tightened, just a bit. She forced a smile. "Daniel," she said, surprised but trying to be polite. "I didn't know you'd be here." I smiled. Calm, polite. "I won't stay long." I placed the envelope on the table between them. "Just wanted to congratulate you both. On your freedom." She frowned, glanced at the envelope like it might bite. He chuckled. "That's generous of you, man." I looked at him. Really looked. The way he smirked, like the world owed him. Like he'd won something. She opened the envelope. Watched her face drain, color by color. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. Her hand trembled as she passed it to him. He read it slower. Then looked at her. "You told me she was his." Her voice cracked. "I thought she was." "No," I said softly. "You hoped she was." "Big difference." She looked up at me, eyes wide. "Daniel." "I'm not angry," I said. "And I meant it. I just thought you both deserved to know." He pushed back from the table, jaw clenched. "I need some air." She reached for him. "Chris, please." He shook her off. "You lied to me." I watched him leave. She looked at me like maybe I'd stay. Like maybe I'd fix it. I didn't mean. "You never do," I said. Silence settled between us. She looked down. "What happens now?" I stood, buttoned my jacket. "Now, I live honestly. And you figure out what that means for you." I walked away. Didn't look back. Outside, the night was cool and quiet. I stood under the street lamp, breathing in the peace of it. Justice doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just whispers, "You survive." And sometimes that's enough.